You know, a trap that I think many people fall into? It's something I call the modern day spiral. It goes back to a quote that Viktor Frankl had, and he was a Holocaust survivor. If you're not aware of who he was, he wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. And he said, when a person lacks purpose, they'll distract themselves with pleasure. And I think that's extremely true, because when we have this existential void within ourselves, we lack meaning or purpose, or, you know, we don't really know why we're here, what we're doing. We numb ourselves. We numb ourselves with instant gratification, with pleasure, cheap dopamine. And it's never been easier to do that than it is today. You know, you can just do anything. You can hop on your phone, you can scroll social media, we can play video games. You know, it's in the food that we eat. It's in substances, whatever it is. These things, if we're not aware of our behaviors around them or our relationship to them, they often just distract ourselves or numb ourselves to what we're not facing, really, which is us. We wonder why we feel so lost when we continue to distract ourselves. Because what happens is we, you know, engage in this superficial behavior, if you will, this pleasure stimulating activity, and we feel more empty afterwards. Trigger that reward pathway in the brain, that pleasure center of the brain, and what happens is you feel a little bit more pain afterwards. So we need a little bit more next time. And then, of course, if we use it as a crutch in life to help ourselves feel better from moment to moment, to the point where when we have become so dependent on these things, we need them just to feel okay in life, to not even feel good anymore, just to avoid feeling, you know, depressed or anxious or just down. But ironically enough, the way out of this is actually into the discomfort, into the boredom, into the loneliness, into the void of stillness, of not overstimulating ourselves. This is very difficult to do. If you know, we're so used to, you know, scrolling our phone or playing video games or, you know, just distracting ourselves all the time, overstimulating ourselves. But it is a cycle with a downward trajectory. Like I said, eventually we need them just to feel okay. And we're going to be like, oh man, I think I'm depressed. Maybe, but I think a lot of it is just the lifestyle that we're living. Using these things as a crutch to fill some sort of void within ourselves. But to go into the void, like I said, to breathe and just learn to expand your capacity to experience these things and let them pass, because they will pass. It won't last. The discomfort, the boredom, whatever it is, it passes when you sit with it. But in reacting to it, by trying to cover it up with some superficial pleasure, instant gratification, it goes away for a very short period of time, but then it comes back stronger and stronger and stronger. And the more we'll lack purpose in life and meaning, because the more disconnected we get from ourselves. In order to connect with ourselves, we need to go beyond the mind that needs to be stimulated all the time, the mind that's running on this autopilot, way of living that is used to living from compulsions and urges, to go from that to being able to be in presence. Presence calms the mind. Through presence and through breath and through mindfulness, you begin to regulate yourself, your body. And by regulating this, the mind starts to calm down. It's not easy at first. It's actually quite difficult. And it seems pointless if you're so used to living on autopilot. But it's probably could be the most important thing that a person does in their lives. Otherwise, autopilot runs our life. We're not conscious in life. We don't have a sense of mastery in life. We're not intentional with how we live. Again, we're disconnected from ourselves and wonder why we don't have clarity or purpose or an understanding of who we are, what we want out of life. We have no direction and no inner peace. So if you want to break the cycle, become aware of how often you feel like you need to distract yourself with pleasure. The way out of this cycle, is not easy, but it's not continually distracting yourself with pleasure. It's being able to sit with yourself, sit with the discomfort. Observe the mind, which is always going, but the more that you can observe, the slower it becomes. The more that we act compulsively from our thoughts, from the story, from compulsions, the more the mind speeds up. It's like the wheel of fortune. You know the wheel of fortune where they spin the wheel? The only reason the wheel keeps going is because you spin it and then you keep tapping it. You keep tapping it and the wheel just maintains its speed. But what would happen if you just stopped tapping the wheel and you just watched it? You just allowed it to spin. Eventually it slows down. Not right away, but eventually it slows down. The same is true with our mind. It slows down when you watch it. When you're aware of your breath. So learn to slow down. When you slow down your body, your mind slows down. And you will break the cycle that's leading you potentially into this feeling of having no meaning, no purpose. This void, this emptiness in life. That's what it is. It's funny. The more full we make our lives with these superficial things, the more empty it actually becomes. It's kind of a paradox. Whereas the fulfillment that we're all, or many of us, maybe all of us, are looking for is just in calming the nervous system, in being in presence. Simplicity of mind. So, if you want to find more purpose in life, start with observing yourself when you always need to distract yourself with pleasure. Start with just being here right now. Open up the space of awareness within yourself and observe the mind, that wheel, and it'll start to slow down. But the more compulsive we are, the more we live on autopilot. And the more we feel like, man, I feel like I'm just kind of cruising on autopilot in life. Like I don't really have control. Life's kind of getting away from me. Every day's feeling the same. I just feel this emptiness, whatever it is. You can break the cycle by just being with you. It's not comfortable, especially at the beginning. But the more you do it, the more you realize that it's the foundation for a peaceful and fulfilling life. So, hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.